Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to be introducing the judges. We're going to be doing this in alphabetical order. Our first judge is Elon Eichler. Elon Eichler. Elon attended Grant from 2004 to 2008. During that time, he wrote for Dylan Leeman's newspaper and spent the rest of his time making music with his friends. Elon is a graduate of PSU with a degree in psychology. Elon coordinates the after-school program at David Douglas's Alternative High School for Ridge campus. Let's give it up for Elon. Our next judge is Kristen Lum. Kristen Lum is a native Oregonian with a passion for the literary arts. Kristen lives in the Portland metro area where she enjoys exploring her multiracial identity through international travel and a study of Mandarin. She is also a writer and a book reviewer and is currently working on a young adult novel. Our next judge is Pamela Levinson. Pamela is the Popina swimwear owner and designer and grew up in Victoria, British Columbia, and has worked in the garment industry for the past 20 years. This experience has provided her opportunities to work for Guess, Jeans in Los Angeles and Paris, as well as several Oregon clothing companies. Let's give it up. Our next judge is Nia Weisberg. Nia is an associate professor in film and video at Pacific University. Her own film work integrates characteristics of experimental and documentary forms. Let's give it up for Nia. Our last judge, alphabetically speaking, is Versatile, who is a singer and songwriter from Portland who tours internationally. In support of several albums he has released since signing his first record contract in 2001. Let's give it up for Versatile. All right, cool. I'm going to quickly remind everyone of the rules for the Poetry Slam. Number 1, each poem must be of the poet's own construction. Each poet gets 3 minutes and a 10-second grace period to perform their poem. If the poet goes over time, points will be deducted from the total score. The poet may not use props, costumes, or musical instruments. Of the scores the poet receives from the 5 judges, the high and low scores are dropped and the middle 3 are added together, giving the poet a total score of 0 to 30. If you have cell phones with you, quick reminder just to turn them off or put them on the vibrate mode or something like that. To help our judges get warmed up, we'll have a sacrificial poet who will share one of his poems with us. Let's give it up for Mr. Dylan Leeman.
Do I adjust this or just leave it? Point at this guy, all right.
That's good.
I'll adjust that. All right, thank you. Judge Eichler just told me that he graduated from Grant almost 10 years ago, which for the record doesn't make me feel old at all. So my whole reason for being up here as the sacrificial poet is to get all of the bad scores out of the judges, right? So you guys just shred me, get it all out of your system, and then the real contestants, you guys can just rock, all right? All right. Picture it when the first poet stands and dares to read. A spotlight finds a dancer curled on a dark stage. The dancer begins to move. A drum joins, punctuates the dance like the heartbeat of the world. Using the live and video models we've watched in class, write a slam poem that speaks your truth, spits your angst, and says what needs to be said. There's a quote on my classroom wall. What shames us, what we most fear to tell, does not set us apart from others. It brings us together, if only we can take the risk to speak it. So we share our shames. We risk to speak each hard truth, one poet at a time. So we step to the mic, eating disorders, cutting, hate in the mirror, sexual abuse, rape. Absent fathers, self-medicating, objectification, double standards, sexual orientation. Private pictures passed around, drug-abusing mothers, gender identity, false friends, anxiety, too strong for school. Use repetition, listing, figurative language, concrete images, and emotional honesty to connect to the universal human condition. Find how your story connects to every story. Consider an extended metaphor. Picture it. Each new truth, a new spotlight. Each reader creates a new dancer. With each new metaphor, a new instrument joins the song. Arthur Miller wrote, "It may be that we are doomed, that there is no hope for us, any of us. But if that is so, then let us set up a last, agonizing, blood-curdling howl. The slam poem, then, is our howl. Our defiant answer, casting light into dark places, audiences shouting calls of encouragement to shaky starters. You got this!
You got this!
Thanks. Picture it. When all the spotlights have cued dancers and all the instruments join the symphony, we dance about the rim of Arthur Miller's crater, glowing red from somewhere below stage. We dance as if unwatched. We speak our truth for ourselves, each truth born of pain, darkness, and pressure, secret, until we give up trying to make diamonds by locking pain uptight and realize we hold not coal, but seed. That needs light and tears to free it, bravery to speak it, and it can grow to something new, stronger for its scars, taller for our faith, greener for the light. Add deliberate changes in pace, volume, and emphasis, script blocking right into your poem, but don't say these aloud. 360 to 560 words should be 2 to 3 minutes. Performed, this is word 478. Picture it for the last time. We speak truth and pain to heal ourselves, but each truth is an invitation for someone else to share, and someone else, until we hear the world in our heartbeat and realize we are not alone in the dark.
Thank you, Mr. Leeman. He is we call him our Neil Patrick Harris because every year he always agrees to do this gig. So thank you once again for a wonderful poem. All right, so let's see what the judges thought of Mr. Leeman's poetry. You received an 8.0, 8.5, 8.0, 7.6, and 8.6. Now, if we were really scoring this, we have this fabulous table of grant faculty members over here helping us out. We have Mona Schreier from our math department, Stephanie DeCruz from English, and Mary Rodeback will be our timekeeper. So they are going to be writing down those scores. Miss Rodeback will be watching the clock to see how close you are to 3 minutes. So thank them for volunteering tonight. I'm really appreciative.
The first poet is Alara Halvek.
This is called When You're 15. Look, I know I'm only 15 years old, and in 15 years, when I'm 15 years older, I won't feel the same, and that's okay, but I need a way to get there. Summer, this morning you yelled at me while taking me to school, telling me I'm wasting your life. You're only 32 and almost 33. You married my mom, who just turned 40, and had her first kid when she was only 20, and that kid is now 20. She had me at 25, my little brother at 29. She left my dad when I was 5. My older brother's dad had died, and we moved to Oregon with my little brothers. She moved on to Derek and got engaged until she left and came out as gay, which, don't get me wrong, is great. I get to say, I'm sorry. I get to explain to everyone that none of my siblings are fully related. My main father figure used to be someone who's not even related, and now I have 2 moms. Mama, I'm scared I'll end up with 3 kids, the product of sex, not love, and I'm scared I won't love them as much as a kid deserves. Mama, I'm scared that I'll tell them they're wasting my life. But Alara, you don't understand because when you hold your precious baby, and I don't understand because I know she held all 3. Yes, I know I'm only 15 years old, and in 15 years when I'm 15 years older, I will see things differently, and that's okay, but I need a way to get there. You see, in the dollhouse we live in, the walls are paper thin and too much sound bleeds through like too much ink left on a page for a long time. She asks me, what else do you want? What else do you want? What else do you want? It echoes in my mind like a broken record. I already disowned Robert. What else do you want? I'm tearing apart our family. What else do you want? Look at me. I found another perpetrator. As if I'm looking for their prey and decided, here, just take me so later I can kick you out. It's my fault. What else do I want? My ears are like glass that breaks with vibration, and your words were so loud they cracked my ears into the records I keep, so my mind just keeps repeating things. What else do you want from me? I'm just trying to do what's right for me. Mom, I'm trying to get the help I need, so every time your words hurt, I don't feel the need to hurt myself and make my own skin bleed, which I started at 11 and now Nason's 11. Nason. When you're 15 or even now, you're gonna have these feelings and people asking you about 15 years later, and I want you to be able to look ahead with positivity. When all they're doing is yelling, I won't say a word. I will be the safe place I needed because I know how much you need it. In 4 years, I'll be gone, and you'll be where I am now, and I'll be there to help you when you're only 15 through the next 15 years because I know you'll need a way to get there.
All right, judges, what are the scores? We've got a 7.0, 8.3, 8.7, 7.0, 7.5. Give it up for the poet, everyone. The next poet is Grace Cowich.
There we go. There we go. I'm gonna do some swimming for my poem. Swimming is my favorite thing to do. I was born to swim. I'm a fish when I swim underwater. I am better swimmer than my brother Sam. I am flexible on top of the water. When I do twists and turns, when I do the backstroke, I attack my back on the water. When I'm underwater, I do lots of flips. I do flips on the stairs. I do swim flips since I was 1 year old. Thanks.
All right, let's see those scores, judges. 7.0, 6.0, 6.5, 5.4, 7.9. Give it up for Grace, everyone. The next poet is Téa Johnson.
What does coming of age mean to you? Does it mean abandoning childish hopes, becoming burdened by a sudden sharp sense of reality? Is it a series of firsts stacked one on top of the other? First kiss, first love, first heartbreak, first sex dream. What is it? It means different things to different people, but to me, 3 movies come to mind. The Outsiders, Stand By Me, The Goonies. 3 tales of ragtag misfits going on wild adventures, finding out what coming of age means to them, yes. But what else do these stories have in common? Time period? True, but not what I was looking for. Dead bodies? Not in Goonies, sorry. Lack of female representation? What? Say that a little louder for the people in the back. Are you trying to tell me that there's little to no women in these films? But surely there must be some equivalent film, some sassy sister film filled with scrappy young girls going on an adventure with their best gal pals. No? You're telling me that one of the most popular coming-of-age stories is about a girl who makes the ugliest prom dress known to man to impress the most thoroughly mediocre white boy instead of her adorable best friend. Really? Why couldn't she make an ugly prom dress for herself? How does Pretty in Pink not stress more people out? Where are the movies where girls just grow up? When is Hollywood going to realize that for a boy is not a suitable suffix for the synopsis of every teen girl flick? Girl changes her hair, aesthetic, lifestyle, and personality for a boy. Girl abandons her popular friends, killing 3 of her classmates in the process for a boy. Girl hikes the Appalachian Trail and becomes one with nature for a boy. Girl decides, fuck the patriarchy, I'm my own person, and decides to start a foreign nation in which she becomes emperor, and everyone has to wear hats on Thursdays, and eventually she goes mad with power and throws herself dramatically off the roof of a building, only to survive because her will to change the world is so strong and her heart is so pure that the gods saved her and instilled a new mission in her self-improvement for a boy. Do you notice a theme? Why can't a girl go on a treasure hunt or accidentally kill a kid from the other side of town for herself? Why are we delegated to being secondary characters in tales of dimpled little white boys finding themselves in the woods? Do I look like a secondary character to you? Why is the most important part of a girl growing up a boy? Can we get some non-boy meets girls narratives in here? Girl meets girl, boy meets boy. Girl meets boy and decides boy is pretty much the absolute worst and parties with her girls. Girl meets nobody and instead goes on a crazy mission with her friends. The possibilities are endless. Just let a girl find a dead body for once, yeah?
All right, judges, let's see those scores. 8.4, 8.5, 8.4, 9.0, 8.2. Let's give it up for Téa. The next poet is Quiandra Watson.
She is long, ashy blonde hair that blows over her face that she is constantly pushing back behind her ears or up over the side of her forehead. It is positively more golden than the sun. It is halfway wavy and tangled that is complicated just like she is. She has gut-wrenchingly, devastatingly bring a man to his knees green eyes. The kind of green that's too damn easy to get lost in. The kind of green that can see right through you even if you don't want it to. The kind of green that makes you feel empty when it fades away. She is. She is lonely pink lips that are never covered in anything but a mint chapstick. It gives me tingles up my spine every time I taste it. Lips that have the power to heal from the outside in. Lips that are often closed around the end of a cigarette. She is. A smile that lights up the world, a smile that blinds, a smile that warms. She has a laugh of a hyena that every once in a while snorts like a pig. A laugh that makes her eyes roll back and sends her hair flying. She has a voice that soothes, a voice that has produced the sweetest sounds I have ever heard. She has hands that are small, cold hands, but are never too cool for my touch. Hands that are too often not in mine. She has a confidence that shows from the swing of her hips, from the width of her smile. She has a heart that loves strong, a heart unwavering, a heart untouched, a heart cracked but not yet broken. She is a soul that will never grow old. She is. She has a beautiful mind, a mind that keeps me on my toes, a mind that I will never fully understand, a mind that is never still. She is. She has taken my heart in her hands. She has broken my heart at her feet. I will always be hers. She was never mine. She is. She is reckless in a way I know that I could never be. She is reckless in a way that knows that I love her and stays silent, silent enough to hear how I ache for her, how I break for her. She is.
Judges, scores, please. We got 7.3, 7.5, 9.2, 7.7, and 8.0. The next poet is Elaine Earle.
Praise spell check, for it is one of mankind's greatest inventions. No, really, it is, and the world would be a better place if it was used more often. We've all been there, mindlessly strolling through the internet, when we're unfortunate enough to come across an abomination that probably starts with something similar to, uns up on a Tim. Please, stop. I won't deny it, I am a fangirl. However, I am also a voracious reader and a rather hesitant writer. So, as a voracious reader and a somewhat hesitant writer, I cannot stand these hideous works of illiterate trash dotted throughout the internet. This is the trash that stains the good, if mildly eccentric, names of fangirls everywhere. I am utterly serious when I beg you that if I ever get drunk enough or high enough or just plain moronic enough to post something like this thing, shoot me. So, when you tell me to fuck off because I flambéed your sooty, you should know that I look at my computer with the utmost disgust and die a little on the inside from the need for you to learn spelling. I want you to know that every time you somehow manage to misspell the word and, it's A-N-D, not A-D-N-E. I shrivel and wither in a slow, excruciating, internally bleeding, silently screaming, heart-crushing, brain-numbing, macabre, death, macabre, adjective, M-A-C-A-B-R-E, not mac-ob. Don't get me wrong, I've been there. My spelling used to be utterly atrocious. Atrocious, adjective, A-T-R-O-C-I-O-U-S, but I worked hard to make it better. And finally, after several middle school years of being under the time crunch to memorize 20-word lists in a week, of tests and quizzes I slowly started passing, of my brain being pounded with thousands of different parts of speech and silent E's and diverse definitions, I finally know that an E almost never comes before the ending ing. I would like to attribute this lofty achievement to spell check, not the dictionary. But it's not just in fan fiction, oh no, this stuff is everywhere. You simply can't go on the internet without seeing at least a few lazy gits who either are trolls, don't have spell check, or just don't care. Everyone already agrees that the English language is going to the dogs and we are not helping things by either never or always using capitals, by misspelling so many words you can't even tell what the sentence was originally supposed to mean, and by just throwing punctuation completely out the window. Commas? Who needs them? Periods, those are optional, right? I think I'll just replace everything with a semicolon. Smart people use semicolons, right? Semicolon, 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 semicolon. Stop! Please, just stop. If you don't know the difference between the and three, I'm not going to tell you to read the dictionary. However, look, I know autocorrect can be a bitch sometimes, but please, for the sake of everyone's sanity, get spell check.
All right, judges, let's see those SCORESs. We got 7.6, 8.2, 8.2, 8.0, and 8.5. Give it up for the poet. The next poet is Rachel Peri.
Day of silence. Schools across the country stand with the gay and trans teens who are silenced by bullying, by suicide, by being left to bleed their broken hymns out in the street. Day of silence. They decide to stand with us by being silent, by saying nothing. Day of silence, singular, one day, as if we don't spend some days with toothaches from biting our tongues, barricading the hurricanes in our throats. Silence, fine. Slap rainbow duct tape over your lips and call it solidarity. Are you really standing with us if you can't let loose your vocal cords for long enough to call us by our real names, to name our sweethearts anything other than partner? I am sick of politeness. Day of silence wraps itself around our diaphragm and says that we are lying that not sharing our experiences can be more empowering. I am sick of this silence. Day of silence crawls up our throats and says that we are traitors to the community if we don't take part. Maybe we just don't want to be fish-hooked into compliance anymore. Day of silence claws at the back of our teeth and screams that it is trying to help straight people understand that we don't have a voice. We do have a voice. The only reason you don't know that is because you're not listening. She is loud when she tears down the ugly pronouns that were pasted on her at birth like ugly wallpaper. He is loud every time he uses the word husband without flinching like someone's coming at him with a hatchet. They are loud when they stand with their singular head high and say, no, my existence is not grammatically incorrect. Sometimes we are loud in our silences. He is loud every time he crosses the threshold into the men's bathroom, a war zone where he could be recognized as a trespasser at any second, and still stands telephone tower tall. She is loud when she braids the hair that her parents used to cut short as suburban front lawns. I am loud when I walk down the street with my girlfriend, fingers curled together like ancient tree roots of two ancient trees growing side by side. You can be loud. You can be rocket launch booming, ears ringing loud. You can say they instead of he/him. Academia should speak in revolution too. You can be loud by taking a step back, by opening your ears to the words that were lost behind pseudonyms, or by being burned in bigoted flames, or by never being written at all. You can be loud. You can outstretch your arms to us. You can say, you do not have to hold your tongues for our respect. You can say, write your doctrine, we'll sign our names. You can say, you do not have to be silent anymore. Thank you.
Scores, please, judges. We got 7.6, 8.6, 7.4, 8.5, and 8.2. Let's give it up for the poet, everyone. The next poet is SirXzavien Woods.
This is my poem, Confidence. I want to be unknown to the human eye, be part of the background, be anywhere but here. avoiding attention, but part of me says, make someone see you, be part of the foreground, be nowhere but here, grab the attention. I never listen to him because I think he's wrong. Every word tells a lie, formed from other people's words that could hurt me more than anyone else. I hid in my own words. They just twist around and jump up into garbage. When I speak to people, I just can't get them right. I make my words quiet, being afraid I'll make a mistake, afraid to be judged. I avoid people's eyes because it makes me smile, a smile that people say they like, but I don't. I hated that smile every time I see it. I wanted to hurt it. It gives me confidence, but I don't want it. I hate a compliment because it feels unreal time after time. It made me feel like a child to the point of me wondering why am I even trying? So I give up knowing that all my work is nothing. When someone opens the door of opportunities, I just close it again, hoping that it wouldn't ever open again. But it does. It always does. I hated confidence. It can feed an ego people didn't know had, make the nicest of people the meanest of beings. When all you can see is greed, I can see a flow, nothing behind all that. But another part of me believes a smile is more than 1,000 hands helping you up, that your words are perfect just the way they are, that compliments are more than reality, that all your work is everything, that you need to get up and stand, make your words heard when you can, be as powerful as planets, draw your eyes like giraffe necks, make your words shine brighter than a light bulb, go out and stand, you won't be frozen, you can speak, don't let your weight drag you down so much that makes you feel stupid. So notice that you can't be perfect, no one is, just please, can I open the door one more time, and will you go through it, please?
Judges. We've got 7.9, 8.7, 7.4, 8.4, 8.2. Let's give it up, everyone. The next poet is Noah Watson.
I don't know if what I heard was real or just my imagination, but I imagine that you were scared when you whispered my name in that courtroom, especially while sitting next to that pedophile's wife. I imagine you were scared of my reaction when you reached out to me after years of excommunication. You chose to protect the man who abused your daughter, and now she doesn't have her mother or her father. How do you use God to justify that you've been brainwashed by a cult? And matter of fact, I don't even think you knew what the Bible was about. It wasn't all beating and reproving for each and every one of their sins. It was about love and compassion for all. See, because you don't worship God, you worship some drugged-out, child-abusing, womanizing, undeserved Vietnam medal-wearing fraud whose only aspiration in life is to touch little girls. And thinks he's above the law. But the law came down on him for all his sins, so how do you feel? There's nothing stopping you now from seeking forgiveness, but not from God, from your family. You have to make the first step, and I don't know if what I heard was real or just my imagination. I heard you whisper my name in that courtroom, but I like to imagine that it was you making the first step.
Scores, please, judges. 6.0, 7.8, 8.3, 7.0, 7.9. Let's give it up. The next poet is Theodore Roelofs.
Sometimes it's easier to build walls than to break them down, something you've known for many years. Somewhere in between the gaps between your fingertips and the water that fell from them, you lose your way, and now you're standing stagnant as concrete and earth. Solid, dependable, can be a good thing, but never for you, because you were always made of light and soft, airy things. Your hair was always soft like dandelion fluff, and your eyes were always gray. Gray, the London sky and stones you used to collect when there were still bandages on your knees and you didn't know the pain of being. Free has many different meanings, but it definitely isn't when you haven't left the house for 2 weeks. Dirty clothes and chip packets and balled up tissues blocking your door, and whoever said mental illness was cute has never been sick. Sick when sadness blocks your nose instead of mucus, and you can't stop and smell the flowers anymore because you were never on the road in the first place. You had a garden full of roses, and I was too late to realize it was the thorns you loved, not the petals, and you always loved E. Cummings, but your hands are bigger than mine, and those books you used to cry over at night, the sequels never came. And when you say I'm okay, it sounds a bit more like I'm sorry, or I need something to fill me up, but there are cracks in my armor, and I'm slowly spilling out, and maybe it's because you always admired Kintsugi, but I don't have any gold to prepare you with. You tell me to go home, but how can I when you were the only home I never knew? And when did gray start representing numbness instead of strength? When did oil paints forego watercolors? Those took days to dry. Why are you killing yourself like this? Because bruises. And trigger warning suicide became your internet history, and you always found a certain beauty and sadness marks on skin, but when you were young, you promised never to take it this far. The colors of galaxies are in your bruises, which is probably why you like space so much, but darling, you forget you always had the stars in your eyes, and you never needed a fist for that.
Scores, please, judges. 7.2, 7.9, 7.3, 8.0, 8.2. Let's give it up for the poet, Grant High School. The next poet is Daniel Bevins.
This is called From Spring to Winter. You see, friends are like the seasons, they come and go. Spring is the fleeting desire of in with the new, out with the old. Spring causes happiness because it's the fresh reminder that summer's right around the corner. Spring is the sky crying like a toddler that's just fallen. Spring is a fleeting desire. Summer is a fresh reminder of the hot days with watermelon on the back porch with your new best friend. Summer is laughing with your friends, new and old, at the family reunions. Summer is having a picnic in the shade, loving the late nights, not having to worry about school the next day. Summer is the fresh reminder. Fall is the complex idea. Fall is the idea of being able to turn over a new leaf. To have a cup of coffee as the leaves turn different colors from orange to yellow to red to brown mush that you have to step in the next day. Fall is the complex idea between friends. Winter is the time for new ideas, yet winter is the end of the fleeting desire, the complex ideas, the fresh reminder. Yet it is so much more. It is the time to look back on what you have accomplished in spring, summer, fall, and then winter. Spring and feel those emotions again. If only my friends from last year could see me now.
Scores, please, judges. 7.0, 6.9, 8.2, 7.4, 7.5. Let's give it up. The next poet is Odo Ishkin.
This is called Summer Days. It used to be all simple. I remember always being outside on hot, sunny summer days, going to Whole Foods with my friends, playing basketball until my face looked like a bright red tomato, strolling through the neighborhood, soaking up the sun, feeling good because I knew summer was just around the corner. But as I got older, these memories slowly started to fade away. As I entered high school, I learned that school isn't just a place where I could just hang out with my friends, that there is work that needs to be done. But I learned that the hard way. All I wanted to do was enjoy the summer days. It felt good outside. Everyone was playing basketball or walking their dog, feeling those summer vibes. That's all I wanted to do too. But grades came first. So I stayed inside, tapping away at the computer, only getting to enjoy the summer days from inside. After weeks of enjoying summer from inside, my motivation left me. Staying up past midnight to finish the project due tomorrow, sitting in front of the computer for hours, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. If I wanted a suitable future where my house isn't a cardboard box on 42nd Street. I mean, I could just blow it off and get to zero, which I had done before, and again, and again, and again. And I did it so much it became a nasty habit, worse than smoking a pack a day. But it felt good, not worrying about due dates or grades or anything, no stress. Finally getting to enjoy those summer days. Those memories didn't just feel like memories anymore. They feel like reality again. But then that's when progress reports came home. I was not feeling the summer vibes no more. I was wanting to believe F stood for fantastic. But the reality was it didn't. People always told me not to screw up freshman year and how they wish they could have went back in time and changed their mistakes. But I just brushed off their advice, knowing that wouldn't happen to me, until it happened to me. I was too deep to dig my way out. My 100% dropped faster than a roller coaster going downhill. Schoolwork piled up higher than Mount Everest. It was all a slap in the face. That's when I realized the reality of enjoying summer days. Now as I look back, was hanging out with my friends really worth it? No. There will always be a tomorrow, and summer comes every year. And thanks to global warming, it may end up being year-round. But now I know. I was just rushing summer. School comes first, and when that ends, I can finally enjoy my hot, sunny summer days.
Scores, please, judges. 7.0, 7.4, 7.5, 8.0, and 7.9. Let's give it up for the poet, everyone. Thank you, Odo. The next poet is Nikole Davis.
I praise the minority and I pity the majority because they'll never have the opportunity to be black. Ensure they'll never be subjected to a certain section on a map, and they'll never feel the click-clack of a gun aimed and ready to shoot another one of their brothers or sisters. I still pity the majority because they'll never have the opportunity to be black. And while they'll never be subjected to the profession of rap and trap and hobbies of crack and the stereotype of our women on their back, I still pity the majority because they'll never have the opportunity to be black. They'll never have the opportunity to have a culture as full and as rich, so prone to appropriation. They'll never take pride in their pain. They'll never be able to turn their ancestors' honor into shame because it has not proved how far they have come. How far have we come if I still live in fear of the ones set to protect us who instead neglect us, disrespect us, and expect us to take it? I am living in a country specifically designed for me not to make it. How far have we come if Donald Trump is running for president and people aren't even hesitant to run behind him? How far have we come if people over 18's only words are they wouldn't mind him? How far have we come? How far have we come? I praise the minority and I pity the majority because they'll never have the opportunity to be black. Ignorance isn't bliss. Everything that glitters isn't gold. Silence becomes cowardice when the occasion calls for the truth to be told. I praise the minority and I pity the majority. I praise the minority for the melanin in their skin, their food and their laughter, their ability to conquer, their ability to make it without a sponsor. I pity the majority and I praise the minority because who else will?
Judges, scores, please. 8.5, 8.7, 9.6, 8.4, 8.9. Applaud the poet, everyone. The next poet is Elizabeth Emer.
I sat in that dusty office. I felt my hands sweat and my body shake. This new man would suddenly know more about me than anyone else. His warm laugh eased me. Suddenly we were thrown into the robotic questions. Suddenly I was being questioned about my mental state, head spinning. I tried to make sense of it all. Have you ever wanted to hurt anyone? Screaming in my head, no. Would you kill yourself? No. Have you ever been abused? No, my family is amazing. The words OCD, depression, and anxiety hit me hard. It hit me like a ton of bricks. It hurt, spiraling around and around and around, suffocating me. I never knew how I felt had a name. I was always like this, but suddenly I felt like that giant hole was filled with some ugly monsters. More questions came. Do you want to be medicated? When do you want to meet again? Are you going to kill yourself?
Judges, scores, please. 7.3, 7.7, 8.4, 7.0, 7.2. Applaud for the poet, everyone. The next performer is Ellory Schrepel.
I never wrote a poem about you. Every time you touched me, 1,000 golden butterflies shot up to the sky with epiphany that the sun existed. Every time you looked at me, your cloud eyes drenched me in exorcism, baptism. Every time you spoke, the vibrations of your voice shattered the steel spider webs in the caverns of me, and yet I never wrote a single poem about you. And if I ever wrote a poem about you, I would have worried that it were too something or not enough something else. I would have tried to capture the kindness of your words by comparing them to the field of wildflowers we ate our jet-lagged breakfast in Austria, how their petals whispered words beginning with M and L, and how they so innocently kissed our buttocks and our backs and our auburn eyes. But I'd have feared that the field couldn't summarize your purity. Flowers have bugs on them, but you did not. Or to paint your creativity as a sparkling river, the never-ending purveyor of music and freshness and life, feeling the icy sweet sensation of dipping my hand in the frigid water as we lie silent, my fingers tracing lightning bulbs in your back. But I'd fear that the image would be too intimate and that nobody would notice the careful juxtaposition of the cold and the heat. Or I'd say that every hair on you is perfect, but other people say that in their poems. And you are nothing like the people in other people's poems. But if I said that every smell on you was perfect, every speck of dirt, every voice crack, every booger, every blackhead, I'd fear the message wouldn't get across. I tried to write a poem about you, and the words on the page were always broken. I searched for original analogies for the valley of your youth, the grass of your honesty, the crumpled messages in the bottles of your fingertips and the oceans of your palms, but I stood there empty-handed because it was all already there. A poet might hear the way you said my name and transform it into a shooting star, but I found that the meteor shower exited your lips fully formed. I tried to write a poem about you, and every time I found that you were already a poem.
Let's see those scores, judges. 7.9, 9.0, 7.8, 8.6, and 8.9. Give it up for Ellory, everyone. The next poet is Madelaine Johnson.
Empty. I don't have any creative juices flowing through my veins like Nova Venerable or Lamar Jordan, who turn their pain into power. Of course, I can write about my burdens, but it all turns out to be nothing. Dust blowing in the wind. How do you put the things that circle around and around and around in your head, making you sick, on paper without it sounding cliche? Like how I can still feel the rush of blood pouring out of my wrist like a never-ending river, and it kills me to admit it. But I still feel the urge to. Or how college is like another planet. So far away, yet my parents talk of it like I'm leaving tomorrow. Or how my mom's anxiety is my monster that sleeps under my bed and at night comes out to play. And just like weeds, no matter how hard you try to get rid of them, they always grow back. I'm not good with expressing my feelings. I lock up my problems in a cold, empty cell and never let them out, which leads to screaming, crying, breaking down. But my biggest problem right now is trying to put the things that circle around and around and around in my head, making me sick, on paper without it sounding cliche. Like how I put half a foot in the school and I can feel the hands of history, English, biology, math cutting off my breathing. Or how the crippling fear my dad's inner demons, heroin, pills, alcohol, will catch up to him again, and I'll ask my mom, is he going to die like I did in 5th grade? All of these things floating around and around and around in my head, and I got them out on paper. Did it sound cliche?
Judges' scores, please. 7.4, 8.0, 8.7, 8.3, 8.5. Thank you so much for sharing. Applaud the poet. The next poet is Erin Nolan.
Why can't you just be happy? You can't always live in your head. There hasn't been anything in your life to justify you being depressed. Why can't you just be happy? Gee, why didn't I think of that? Depression isn't sadness. If it was, I wouldn't need therapy. I just need a puppy. I wish depression was sadness, because sadness I can handle. Depression has proved to be a bitch. So let me try to explain. Depression is a fog so thick it prevents you from seeing beyond the pain. You become so lost in your brain that down is up and up is down, and laughter hurts, and pain becomes safe. Pain becomes the best friend you never knew you liked. The friend that comforts you when you're down, distracts you from everything, and no matter what, is there to come back to. Pain is the constant reminder that you can still feel. And the irony is not lost, because it's that overwhelming pain that numbs you. No one prepares you for this pain. No one warns you that at some point you will become so lost in your brain that you realize you haven't recognized yourself in the mirror for a long, long time. And at this point, you're not sure that you will. That was me. All I knew was that I was in pain. I had fallen down an abyss so far I couldn't even see the light at the top. I pleaded with the fates that be to cut the string and let me detach. I couldn't stand being alone with my thoughts, but I was lonelier in company. I constantly craved food, but did not have the stomach to eat it. My head was a battlefield between me, myself, and I, and when I looked in that mirror, I didn't know who that was. Am I still the girl who belches David Bowie, dances like nobody's watching, and wears capes, or wears blankets as capes around the house? Or will I forever be the girl who can't get out from under those blankets? I don't. Or will the girl who cries more than she smiles, the girl who no one truly knows because I live behind the masks that you want to see. I don't want to be doomed to hate my reflection. I want to blossom from this cocoon of depression and become something magnificent. I have spent the last month in the company of angels, and with the support of those most important in my life, I was taught to see the light. So when you ask me again, why can't I be happy? I'm just gonna say, fuck you! I'm working on it.
See those scores, judges? 7.7, 7.5, 8.4, 7.9, 8.2. Let's applaud the poet, everyone. Thank you, Erin. The next poet is Sydney Hamilton.
Thank you, Mr. Leeman. This poem is called Autism Speaks. Autism speaks. Oh, it speaks all right. Every day my autism speaks to me and it says, hey, maybe don't listen to an organization that promotes medical abuse run by a bunch of Facebook moms who slap puzzle pieces on everything. But what would I know after all? I'm a person with autism, as they tell us to say, because it's not, of course, a core part of my identity. It's a disease, an epidemic. I'm a person with autism, like a person with womanhood or a person with blackness. Like autistic girls and minorities who are wildly underdiagnosed. I am, if you will, suffering from autism. Because if autism were anything but a horrid illness, what would that make us? Innocent people being abused, infantilized, and silenced from birth? But hey, autistic people are incapable of sarcasm or lying. We're too simple-minded, right? On an unrelated note, my 48 karate-trained alligators will rip anyone to shreds if they come to me without bullshit. My autism speaks to me and it says, hey, you aren't inspiration porn. I don't need to overcome my disability. I'm not here for them to profit from by blogging about me or taking me to prom, and I'm a little bit tired of neurotypicals being given a goddamn Nobel Peace Prize for passing me the salt. Damn right autism speaks. It says exist radically. It tells me go ahead and flap your hands for those who would be abused for doing the same. Rock back and forth for your autistic siblings who are restrained for acting in a way that's deemed abnormal. Love all the things you love and don't stop talking about them just because no one will listen, because someday someone will. What you have to say matters, so repeat yourself until you get a response. Repeat yourself until you get a response. Grow attached to everyone you love, whether they're real or not. By the way, you are dating Color Run and fuck anyone who says otherwise. Treasure your friends more than anything, but if they leave you because you can't talk while you're doing something else, they're not worth your time. It says, be who you are without anyone's consent because you are a person and just as valid as everyone else. It says, inconvenience them, make them uncomfortable, be a burden, be yourself. It says, be angry, don't take anyone's bullshit sitting down because they can't cure me of who I am, and I refuse to let them silence me then say I'm voiceless. Fuck their blue, I'll light it up red. I'm autistic. Are you aware of me yet?
Scores, please, judges. 7.5, 8.0, 7.8, 8.5, and 8.0. Let's give it up, everyone. The next poet is Jada Mans.
My piece is called Nowhere to Go. Hey, me, all me, breathing. Inhale stress, exhale relief. I'm here. I'm not a mistake like people say. Jada, no one even wants you here. You're just a mistake that happened. Maybe you're Khloe Kardashian wannabe voice of this mistake that happened. I wonder what's gonna be out like there in the real world. So excited, so ready. The laughter, anger, sadness. I didn't know if it was part of life or just a phase. I figured that everyone had it and was normal like everyone else. But who am I? Me. I guess I'm normal. Me trying to handle 18 things at once and still be able to turn an essay on the same day we were assigned to it? Yeah, that's normal for sure, right? Just wait till Friday comes, sleeping like a worn out puppy. I'm focused on trying to be more social with everyone, that my name would be out there more in their mouth. I want to be like that. That's how girls got their name out there. Going out every Saturday just so you can meet the cuties your friends talk about. I was the nerd in middle school who got bullied. Got teased for wearing the same soft black hoodie. I didn't care about looks. I cared about me making it to the top one day. Who's the girl in the big building on top? That's me. It's my company. Plus with my name across. It got dropped. But unfortunately, I got hooked into the girl drama, cussing so damn loud that I'm pretty sure God wakes up from his beauty sleep. I'm sorry. My mama telling me to stay out of it, but the messy girls kept pulling me in, so it happened, and I lost my crazy gamer girlfriends, gained snobby makeup obsessed new ones, but lost respect. Me. I'm still breathing. I'm fine. It's just wrong. Your friends, then your own bully, then your enemy. I lost. Game over. I thought we were something. You put a title on me. Best friend. Me. I'm shy. I like trying new things. I'm not afraid anymore. Only when it comes to new people. Who am I? Me. I'm not the strongest. I'm not the smartest. I'm not the funniest. But I'm one of a kind, and I'm not going to change. I've tried that, and I still haven't fit in. So let me be me, and you do you. If I wanted your opinion, I would want someone to sit me in a chair, put me in a straitjacket, listen to your negative, complaining opinions, and bawl my eyes out. But do I do that? Not anymore. I've been waiting to see what it's like. If my life has an interesting twist, or just a plain dead ending like Romeo and Juliet stories. Don't ever compare me to you. I'm not you, I'm not you, I'm not you. I'm not you in the back, I know that for a fact. I wouldn't want to be you, but who am I? I'm just me. The kid who sat alone at lunch, terrified about seeing the tall, stylish, overpopulated girls. The kid who lost a good, nerdy girl image in her. The kid who had to taste salty tears when she was in the bathroom because of the shameless calling out. I have trust issues, but I always resent people getting too close to me. I don't think I like me anymore. I'm scared that I'll turn my back on me. Wait, I can't breathe. There's nowhere to go. Maybe I should go back to my room, listen to my music, chew some cashews, maybe read a book or two. Look, kid, let's start tomorrow off with a cricket smile.
Scores, please, judges. 7.3, 8.1, 8.3, 7.6, and 8.5. Let's give it up for the poet, everyone.
So that is the end of round one. We're going to give our math geniuses 5 minutes to tabulate the score and see who's going to go on to round two. Scores have been tabulated. The judges are back in their seats. The math geniuses have their pencils at the ready. As everyone is settling in, I am going to read off the names of the 5 poets who are going to be competing in round 2. We have Nikole Davis, Ellory Schrepel, Téa Johnson, Madelaine Johnson, and SirXzavien Woods. All right, let's get our MC back up here. Poets, take a deep breath. We're going to pull the first name.
The first poet is Nikole Davis.
Just because my name is Nikole with a K, not a C, doesn't mean I'm not as authentic as Lakeisha or Devante. Doesn't mean I speak with the vocabulary of my African-American 6-month early college graduating sister. Doesn't mean I can't write you a 5-paragraph essay in MLA format, 12 sides in Roman font and double-spaced on how I can. Just because my name is Nikole with a K, not a C, doesn't mean I'm pretty for a black girl, when in actuality, my beauty, my prominent features can pique the interest of any well-knowing fellow, and my glowingly brown skin reminds one of liquid gold. Just because my name is Nikole with a K, not a C, doesn't mean you can belittle my intelligence and that I won't spark a conversation about the disrespect and the negligence just because I was born with a vagina. Just because my name is Nikole with a K, not a C, doesn't mean I surround myself with Sarah and Rebecca, even though I do have a few protection of complexions. Doesn't mean I spend my time at Starbucks and Taylor Swift, even though I do like my fair share of vanilla frappuccinos with whipped cream and caramel on the whip, but not in the cup because that's too much caramel. And doesn't mean that I won't spark certain conversations, because you see, I was having a conversation with one of my friends and she told me that if I was a boy and I was gay, it would be okay, but if I was me as I am today, we couldn't be friends. What? Just because my name is Nikole with a K, not a C, doesn't mean that the only thing I can get up here and talk about is the problems in our country, my teenage anger, and everything that's wrong with the world. And it doesn't mean that I won't. Thank you.
See those scores, please, judges. 8.0, 8.7, 9.3, 8.4, and 8.5. Let's give it up. Thank you so much, Nikole. The next poet is Ellory Schrepel.
This poem is called Being Gay Saved My Life, because I realized that I am privileged. I cocked the slot machine handle and scored 3 rainbows in a row, and my heterosexual friend was not so lucky. See, I realized, watching boy after boy stand up in front of the class, arms limp like mutton, facial movement second last place to Stonehenge, monotone, eerily reminiscent of a hospital death, that the ideals of masculinity are a carcinogen, seeping into our subconsciouses through our televisions and our radios. My heterosexual friend, why do you dumb yourself down so? Is your bowl-cut head screwed on the wrong way? Perhaps the stitch on your Nikes is starting to fray. Why just sit there and watch all the homos play? See, your heart's the right size, but dude, that's gay. But I think that the most likely reason of all is that your greatest fear is a Barbie doll. This poem is called The Congeniality of Homosexuality, because I can wear whatever colors I want, because I don't have to worry that my handwriting is too loopy, because I can use my entire vocal range when I perform my poems, because I stand here in heels and look damn good, because I don't have to make every move fearing it will somehow disprove my manhood. Buddy, while you were standing on that dock petrified, I got shoved right into the tumultuous waves, and the water is fine, friend. This poem is called Thank You, World, for birthing me uncaged. Not done. Not done. Just forgot. This poem is called Thank You, World, for birthing me uncaged. My heterosexual friend is not a coward, but he's been taught that if he embraces his feminine side, he will be. He's been taught that he's only worth the weight he can lift. Being gay saved my life because I realized that gender roles are rules that I'd like to break in half. and I hope you would too. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. I hope that you join our nation under Beyonce, individual, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Let's see those scores, judges. 7.9, 9.7, 8.2, 9.1, and 9.2. Let's give it up. Ellory, you rock. The next performer is Téa Johnson.
I know you're all expecting a funny poem. A snarky sonnet with sassy social commentary about being a girl in the 2010s, but that's not what I have for you today. I'm here to present instead a love poem. There's this guy, and just thinking about him makes my heart speed up and my hands clammy. He's a handsome guy with a heart of gold and a way with money, but he's not perfect. All the girls want him, and he knows it. He takes hearts in his hands and plays with them like putty, breaking heart after heart and leaving them shattered. He's reckless, and he doesn't know how to shut his mouth, and he's just a little older, so there's that. And you guys, I'm just really in love with Alexander Hamilton. I know what you're thinking. Alexander Hamilton, is that sophomore? No, Tammy, he's not. He's so much more than that. He's the guy on the $10 bill, founder of the National Bank, heartbreaker, lady killer, and the damn sexiest founding father, if I do say so myself. I mean, have any of you looked at a $10 bill? But he's more than just a hot guy, He worked for his money, started from the bottom, ending at the top, the upper middle-ish, I guess. Coming from the Caribbean island, he arrived in America with nothing. No family and not a cent to his name, just a strong wit and a willingness to play the game. And who doesn't love a good underdog story? Rudy, Rocky, the Karate Kid, Alexander Hamilton. Nobody believed in them, but they didn't let that get them down. And I want Alexander Hamilton's spirit to know just how much he means to me, how I weep when I give a Starbucks barista my $10 bill and gently whisper, "Take care of my boy." How History Channel specials can make my heart skip a beat if he's in them. How he's the star of my Snapchat story, whether on a bill or in my history book. Alexander Hamilton, founding father of our country, you deep, sensitive soul. I love every part of you, from your participation in the original political sex scandal, sorry, Bill Clinton, to your incessant obsession with legacy, from your need to drag everyone around you through the mud, to your definitely less than heterosexual letters to John Lawrence. I mean, come on. You should not have taken advantage of my sensibility to steal into my affections without my consent isn't just something you say to your best bro. From your dedication to the national bank system to your unbridled love for all 8 of your children, I love you. And I told myself love poems weren't my thing. I'm not a sonnet sort of girl. I'm here to make you laugh. But you guys, I love Alexander Hamilton. And I couldn't live without shouting my love from the rooftops, proclaiming my perfectly innocent passion. I love Alexander Hamilton. And love hurts, but it could be so much worse. I could like a real boy. Can you imagine? Yikes.
All right, judges, let's see those scores. 8.6, 8.9, 9.6, 8.0, and 9.3. Applaud the poet, everyone. The next poet is SirXzavien Woods.
This is my poem, Poetry. Poetry can twist someone's mind like a double helix. That happiness, anger, sadness, and fear could be manipulated by one's words, but only if you know how to. That if you fail, you leave people emotionless. But you can have everyone dumbfounded. I feel like that poetry is the best way that I can speak, that my voice can flourish through the winds of thin paper, that I can find my emotions I've been hiding back like hatred and love. But I've also been questioning if I even know myself, because I've closed myself from everybody, including me, so much I became my own hero, my own villain, my own friend, my own enemy, my own fear, my own motivation. Every word that has been struck down on this paper will burn my soul into yours like clear, cold snow, only to show you who I am, a shy person with great skills that can do more than just be here. Poetry is like like a person opening their book and reading out the story, listening to the words fit together like a puzzle that took hours and hours to complete. Poetry is more than story. It's an experience that never ends. I like to feel how people feel, how they see the world around them, because it's amazing the ways they tell their pain, their happiest moments, their saddest moments, their angriest moments. You can write anything you want as long as you try, put effort into it. But as I'm finishing this poem, I just want to leave you with this. Poetry is more than words. It's an expression that cannot be judged, can't be scored. It can only be appreciated. As we have put our hearts and souls into these poems, caring for them like our children, our hours and days were put into these poems just to be shared, or us to be heard, or for some of us, just to be seen. So I'm going to say this again. Poetry can twist someone's mind like a double helix. That happiness, anger, sadness, and fear can be manipulated by one's words only if you know how to. That if you fail, you can have people emotionless, but you can have everyone dumbfounded.
All right, let's see those scores, judges. 8.0, 9.4, 7.7, 8.5, and 8.9. Let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen. And our last poet is Madelaine Johnson.
This is called Dear Dummy on Instagram. I post an OOTD, outfit of the day. You say, hit me up. What's your number? What's your name? What's my name? You say hit me up and you don't even know who I am? Am I just another girl who makes your dick rise as high as the Eiffel fucking Tower? You don't stop, even when I tell you to. What's your kick? I don't have one. What's your Snapchat? Why would I tell you? I'm not some girl. I'm true and I'm real. I'm not like the other girls. You're hot. And you're not. You're sexy. What's sexy? The real me? Or the idea of you undressing me and seeing what's underneath? You fucking pervert. This might work for other girls, but my mom taught me how to wait for the guy that truly loves and accepts you for everything that you are. Do you find the zit on my forehead above my eyebrows sexy? What about the bumps on my skin? How about my morning breath? Just shut the fuck up. Some little advice. Hit me up is how you get dumped.
Scores, please, judges. 7.7, 8.0, 8.5, 7.8, and 8.2. Let's give it up, everyone.
Okay, we're gonna give our math geniuses just a minute or two to get the scores tabulated. So I'll see you in 2 minutes, so don't move. I have the results. I think that took longer than 2 minutes, sorry. Ooh. Okay, so the top 3 finishers will get tickets to Verslandia. First place and second place will be representing us, and we have an alternate should one of the first place or second place winners not be able to attend. So, in third place, as our alternate representative to Verslandia, is Nikole Davis. Okay, in second place, Ellory Schrepel. And this year's 6th annual Grant High School Poetry Slam winner is Téa Johnson.